Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're going to dive into a high stakes corporate war that is about to completely reshape Hollywood. And the prize? It's all about control over the stories you love and, really, the future of how you watch them. I mean, just imagine a world where Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and Batman all live under one roof. That world might be way closer than you think, all thanks to a multi-billion-dollar bid that's shaking the entire entertainment industry right down to its core. So where did this all start? Well, it kicked off with an absolute bombshell. Netflix, the undisputed king of streaming, made a move so audacious it sent shock waves tearing through Hollywood. They basically put a price tag on a century of entertainment history. Yep, on December 5th, the news just dropped. A staggering $72 billion offer from Netflix to buy Warner Bros. Discovery. And we're not just talking about a studio here. This is the home of DC Comics, HBO, 100 years of cinematic history, all of it, potentially swallowed up by the biggest name in streaming. It's huge. So you gotta ask, right? Why would Netflix spend that much money? A price tag that big? That's not just a casual shopping trip. No, this is a calculated move, and Netflix has three very specific and very ambitious goals in mind. Okay, so this slide really lays out Netflix's grand plan. And it's not just about adding more movies to their library. It's a three-pronged attack. First, they want to justify those price hikes with content you just have to have. Second, they're looking to become a merchandise giant, just like Disney, by using all those iconic Warner brands. And third, they want that Hollywood prestige. We're talking about chasing Oscars and being seen as a truly top-tier studio. Right, but that's just one side of the coin. The big question is, why would a 100-year-old giant like Warner Bros. Even think about selling? They've got a century of history, sure, but their more recent history? Well, it's been defined by a sea of red ink. You see, ever since their big merger with Discovery back in 2022, the company has been really struggling. I mean, in the last year alone, they posted a staggering net loss of $11.3 billion. They are just bleeding money, and Netflix saw a perfect opportunity to step right in. But just when it looked like a pretty straightforward deal, a new media giant buying an old media titan, a challenger stepped into the ring. And that turned this into an all-out bidding war. And who's the challenger? None other than Paramount Pictures, the studio behind massive franchises like Top Gun and Mission Impossible. Yeah, they decided they were not about to let Netflix just walk away with the prize that easily. And this slide really shows you the fundamental clash we're talking about here. On one side, you've got Netflix, the new money streaming giant, trying to do a friendly merger. And on the other side, you've got Paramount, a legacy studio planning something far more aggressive. Yeah, Paramount, which is reportedly backed by some serious Middle Eastern investment, isn't really asking for permission. They're planning what's called a hostile takeover, basically going straight to Warner's shareholders to seize control, completely bypassing the board. It is an incredibly high-stakes, high-aggression strategy. Okay, but here's the thing. Winning this war isn't just about who has the most money or the boldest strategy. Whoever wins, whether it's Netflix or Paramount, is going to have to clear two massive obstacles first.
So, hurdle number one, the United States government. You see, federal antitrust laws are designed specifically to stop any single company from becoming way too powerful and just dominating an entire market.
And this is where it gets really crucial. Netflix is already the number 2 player in the US streaming market. So if they buy Warner Bros., they also get HBO Max, which is the number 3 player. You put them together, and their market share would just soar past 30%. And that number, that's a big deal. It's a threshold that automatically triggers a serious government investigation for being a monopoly. But of course, Netflix has a counterargument all ready to go. They're planning to tell regulators, hey, our real competition isn't just other streamers. They're going to argue that they're competing for your screen time with giants like YouTube and TikTok. It's a pretty clever strategy, honestly, to try and make their market share look a lot smaller on paper.
All right, now hurdle number two. This is where things get really complicated and kind of political. See, Netflix only wants the fun stuff, the studios, the streaming services. They do not want the news network, CNN. Paramount, on the other hand, says they'll buy the whole shebang, CNN included. Now, why does this matter? Because former President Trump has publicly insisted that any buyer must take CNN, and there are even reports suggesting Paramount has promised him changes at the network if their bid wins. This adds a whole new, powerful political angle to their offer.
Okay, so the battlefield is set. The major obstacles are clear. Let's break down the final scorecard for each of these corporate contenders and see who's really got the edge. So here's how it all breaks down. Netflix, their big advantage is just massive amounts of cash and that incredible global platform. But their big disadvantage? That huge antitrust risk. Then you'll have Paramount. They've got a much weaker financial position, for sure, but they have a massive advantage. Their merger would probably sail right through an antitrust review. And it really seems like they have the political winds at their back. At the end of the day, this whole corporate war isn't just about boardrooms and stock prices. It's about what shows up on your screen. So, is the future of streaming going to be dominated by Netflix's powerful algorithm? Or will a legacy Hollywood studio armed with political influence get to write the next chapter? The battle for Warner Bros. Is so much more than a business deal. It's really a fight for the soul of entertainment itself.